Alright guys, welcome back. Coffee break is here. And wow, it's been a roller coaster ride the last couple of weeks for some of you. Shout out for those folks who did not overreact last preseason game where Garoppolo looked like a rookie quarterback. But can we agree that there's some rust that plays into it? Well, Jimmy G did quiet some haters in his last performance where he threw for a touchdown and had a passer rating of 116. Look, he was not perfect. He still had some throws that were off and also made a bad decision throwing a Pettis in triple coverage. But like Aaron Rodgers once said, relax. Things will come with time. My thing is, there's going to be growing pains with Jimmy this year. We saw snippets of that last year. Unfortunately, he was not able to grow from it due to injury. So expect to see some of those same struggles this year, at least early this year. We have a way deeper roster this time though that can help us win if Jimmy struggles. I mean, you look at the defense, it's on a whole other level. Niner fans, we have not even seen Dee Ford or Nick Bosa, and I still see the defense do a great job out there. Getting out on third downs, red zone defense has been phenomenal. So, Saleh has those boys scrambling around. You can tell this is a much more mature, smart team out there. Saleh has players now. So if I'm him, I'm feeling excited about the year. But here's my last note on Jimmy. The start of the season may be shaky for him. Expect some interceptions, sacks, and bad decisions. Remember, he rehabbed a knee injury last year. Probably couldn't drop back from the pocket and throw a whole lot until early this year. So it's going to take some time. He probably, maybe, will be back to his old self towards the end of this year. We're just hoping that we're playing meaningful games by this time. So just be patient because we're still learning who he really is. Now let me give some shout outs. Let me give a shout out to Richie James. Now I was really disappointed with him with his first preseason performance. He did not look like a guy who deserved to be in the 53-man roster. But the last two games though, he's played like a starter. This dude has balled out, and it tells you a whole lot when Richie James is out there with starters. Kyle expects more from him. In the last couple of weeks, has made big contribution to this football team. Pettis, on the other hand, well, let's just say he's playing in the fourth quarter of a preseason game. In the fourth quarter. Now, usually when you're playing in the fourth quarter, you're fighting for a roster spot. This is not the case with Pettis, but it tells you a lot that you need to know. To me, it says Kyle is not happy with Pettis' play. Debo is balling out. Richie James is now getting into a groove. So is Kendrick Bourne. Goodwin, with the minimal snaps that he's given, he's putting something out there. Pettis, on the other hand, has gotten so many reps and he still has quiet games. Now, this doesn't mean he's not getting open, and granted, the ball isn't being thrown his way each and every time, but just look at the body language. Tell me when he runs routes in the middle of the football field. I don't like Pettis' body language on that football field. He screams, "Don't hit me." And I hope he really becomes a great receiver, but he's had a bad camp, and you factor that in with bad preseason games, you're gonna move down the depth chart, and that's what's happening right in front of our eyes. Pettis went from being a starter to potentially being one of the bottom receivers in this roster. I'd rather have Debo run down the middle, Bourne, Goodwin, Hurd, even Richie James. I'd rather have those 5 receivers run down the middle than Pettis, because Pettis, he has a history of having alligator arms, and you don't want to have that reputation if you're a receiver. I mean, he may contribute in different ways like special teams, but even then he looks lost. Something is up, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But this guy was a master at returning kicks in college. Makes you think a little bit what's happening. Maybe it's more so in the head than anything else. But let me move on. I do want to get to another shout out, and this one is towards Jimmy Ward. Yes, that Jimmy Ward. The Ward I always criticized here on my channel. When they re-signed him this offseason, I was like, what? Now multiple reporters mentioned that the coaching staff loves Jimmy because of his character, and it makes sense. When have you ever seen Jimmy Ward complain? I mean, he's a pro's pro. But about his performance, dude played very well coming back from his injury. I mean, it's like he didn't miss a beat. He was in man coverage, even had a hit on Patrick Mahomes when he went to slide in for the first down. Mahomes ended up being short, but I like what I saw from Jimmy Ward. It definitely has me thinking about the secondary position now, because who are the Niners going to keep? They just put rookie cornerback Tim Harris on IR, so tells you a little something, making some room. But anyways, guys, let me get your thoughts on the Niners play this past weekend. I think Jimmy had a great bounce back game. Now he should focus on the Bucs game, week 1 coming up. We didn't even get to talk about defensive line. We're going to be cutting some really good talent down there unless we trade with someone else, because we need some offensive line help. Still kind of worries me. Have no depth, no room for error, but we'll find out here within the next week or so. And as always, I thank you all for watching. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.